Wow. Thank you once again. You guys, for those of you who don't know, this is Cobus. He's from South Africa, and he's in our studios. We're actually in the middle of launching the Cobus method, and I've convinced him to teach us all a little lesson. Now, this is something, the other day I came downstairs, you were upstairs, and I was practicing. Cobus was like, who's playing drums? Didn't actually think it was me.
No.
I was trying to play this so
over
badly.
and over again. No, it wasn't bad. It was just like over and over again.
But I've never experimented a lot with it. But after, you then sat down beside me and showed me some stuff. I'm like, okay, we have to teach this. And so this is the Herta. So do you mind just talking a little bit about it?
Well, I listened to a ton of Blink-182 when I started playing, and I heard Travis Barker use this pattern a lot, and he used certain variations of the pattern, and back then I just played by ear, so I heard this thing and I was wondering what the flip that was, and I just tried to replicate the sound, and by some or another miracle I could replicate the sound. I could kind of get it to sound the same behind my kit, so I just started using it obsessively, and I just love the way that it sounds. I started using it all around the kit between fills that include the toms and the cymbals, and I just kind of started splitting it up in any which way that I could. So I love the Herta. If anybody who watches my covers will know that I use them a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like before we actually came in here, we were looking up the official definition, and one simple definition we found was 2 fast notes followed by 2 slower notes.
Exactly. 2 fast notes, 2 slow notes. That's like, you can apply it with regards to 2 16th notes followed by 2 8th notes, or 2 32nd notes followed by 2 16th notes, or whatever you want. But in essence, 2 fast notes, 2 slow notes.
And you don't even like to worry about the note values. This is what's awesome about taking lessons from Cobus. I have sheet music prepared, and he's like, I just want to do how it sounds.
Yeah.
Let's just do how it sounds. So I think that's a great idea. It's a different approach than we're used to, but I think it's like brilliant.
Yeah.
So just listen and then tap along. I think you guys are going to absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's one of those patterns that exactly what you said. You hear it, and you hear the sound, and then you sit behind the kit, and then you replicate the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just listen to the way that it sounds and the way that it feels, and then we'll get into the technical mumbo jumbo. But just just listen to the way that it sounds and see if you can't snap it right away.
Yeah. So do you mind just playing it on the snare drum for them, like just the basic Herta?
For sure.
And then we can kind of take it from there.
Okay. That's the pattern.
Yeah, and that's perfect. So depending on the note values you use, that's what determines how you fit it into a bar or fit it into 2 bars. And normally when you're playing it, it's played as 32nd notes and 16th notes.
I think so.
So it goes 2
I'm
32nd.
not sure.
It goes 2 32nd notes, 2 16th notes.
Yeah.
But like,
what is deceptive about this is, and the only way that the best way that I could understand was actually to go to the theory. What is deceptive about this pattern is that it's got a triplet feel. Mm-hmm. So if it's 2 16th notes followed by 2 8th notes, then we all know 2 16th notes can be represented by 1 8th note lengthwise. So essentially that is then 3 8th notes in length. So it feels like, well, if I play it, you'll hear, you can count 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Yeah. So it's got that triplet feel, which makes it deceptive, especially if you use it in kind of the 4/4. If you squeeze it into that feel, then it starts getting a little funky, but it gives it a really cool vibe because it's based on the triplet feel.
Yeah, cool. So then from there, what I saw you do in the drum duet we did, and in a lot of your other playing, is you started taking this and moving around the kit. And one way you started moving around the kit was what I call sweeping. I don't know what you call it, but it's like you had this crazy pattern on. First, it was just the high tom to snare, snare to low tom to this, and so it was kind of like you were just cleaning your drum set.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it sounds rad, and that's the cool thing about this pattern, that if you get comfortable with the way that it feels, so I'd say step 1 is just play it on the snare for extended periods of time. Just get comfortable with the feel, get the muscle memory down, and then start splitting it up on the kit. That's what's rad about this. If you do something as simple as just placing the first note on a crash, still keeping the other 3 on the snare, then that's where the sweeping comes from. And then you move the first note to the tom, snare with the second note on the floor tom, but just splitting up the pattern.
Mainly the right hand.
Mainly the right hand. Actually, the left hand staying on the snare the whole time. So that's a nice simple version. But this is just the first step. Like if you get comfortable with it, you can split it up in a bajillion ways. But what Jared is talking about, the sweeps, is just the same pattern applied to small tom, floor tom, and the snare, with the left hand staying on the snare the whole time.
Do you mind just showing them that really slowly?
For sure. I'll start fast.
Yeah, do it. And then maybe you can slow
And
it
then
down.
I'll just slow it right down so you can see exactly what I'm doing. That's slowed down.
Very cool. So now do you mind playing it with a groove and then just using it as a fill?
Yeah.
Because that works out to a 1-bar pattern. He ends with 2 quick 30-second notes.
Yeah. But what I said earlier, what makes this deceptive is the fact that it's a triplet pattern. So you need to stay aware of that. The fact that it doesn't fit into kind of the 4/4 grid super comfortably. You have to kind of be a little bit creative to make it fit nicely. So you'll hear what I do to kind of finish it off in a nice way. I just add the 2 30-second notes at the very end. But just concentrate on the way that it sounds and the way that it feels. Don't think about the notes too much. Yeah. So this is the Herta pattern, the exact same thing that I played now, inside a 4/4 groove.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much for showing these guys what's up with that. Like you say, that's what's up.
That's what's up.
And do you mind, just as we kind of fade out the video, just playing around with it and moving it around the cymbals on your stack, on your bell, like you always do?
Not at all. I'll see what I can come up with.
Cool. Here we go. Thanks for watching, guys.
Sweet.